We all know the quiet relief of pushing a heavy task to tomorrow. It feels safe. It's a comfortable little lie that protects us from the friction of doing the work right now. Take Ethan. Instead of opening a textbook for 20 minutes a day, instead he stacked the work up. He banked on a heroic, adrenaline-fueled, all-night cram session to save his entire semester. He stayed awake, he put in 14 straight hours of brute force studying, and he still failed the exam. Betting your progress on intense bursts of future effort is a deeply flawed strategy that guarantees you stay exactly where you are today. If Ethan technically put in the required hours, why did his brain completely reject the information? This animated diagram compares human growth to a biological system, much like the metaphor Ethan's grandfather used. If you give a plant a few drops of water every day, it slowly builds a steady upward curve of growth. But if you withhold water for 29 days and then dump 10 buckets on it the night before a deadline, you don't save the plant, you drown the roots. Human skill acquisition cannot be batch processed. The brain does not work like a hard drive downloading a large file. True progress demands a continuous system of trickle feeding. Small, manageable doses of daily effort always outperform desperate last-minute data dumping. At 3:17 a.m., this New Jersey gas station is silent. Empty roads, flickering fluorescent lights, and cold coffee. This is Daniel's repetitive loop. He is 26, an immigrant with no degree and no professional network. He took this minimum wage night shift, telling himself it was a temporary fix. That was 2 years ago. Every night, he watches businessmen, students, and truck drivers. Everyone is heading to a destination, while Daniel remains entirely static behind the counter. Around 2 a.m. one morning, an older customer noticed Daniel staring at his laptop and asked what he was working on. Daniel brushed it off as just casually trying to learn things online. The man smiled and said, "Good, that's how it starts." Escaping a dead-end loop requires giving up the hope that a lucky break is coming tomorrow. You have to start exploiting the deeply imperfect reality of today. Daniel rewired his routine. Instead of numbing his boredom by scrolling social media, he used the brief gaps between customers to actively study marketing, copywriting, and AI tools. The execution was brutal. His eyes burned from chronic sleep deprivation. His body ached. Night after night, the exhaustion made him want to shut the laptop and quit. This step function chart shows the reality of effort, drop by drop. For 3 months, trickle feeding yields a flat line with zero external reward. Then, the chart shows its first definitive vertical break. Invisible work yielded a $30 client. $30 barely pays for a tank of gas, but for Daniel, it was mathematical proof that he possessed the ability to scale his own growth. 1 year later, Daniel walked into the gas station. He wasn't there to clock in. He was there to hand in his resignation. His nightly habit had compounded into a recurring monthly income of $3,200. He had permanently escaped his physical stagnation. Back at school, Ethan experienced a similar breakout. By abandoning the all-nighter and adopting Daniel's strict daily study discipline, he quietly secured his position as the top student in his district. A completely different life does not arrive through a sudden miracle. It is simply the delayed visibility of an invisible daily architecture. Years later, acting as a mentor, Daniel summarized his journey with a simple truth. You do not change your life in one day. You change what you do every single day. The results of success are loud and highly visible, but the actual construction of it requires absolute silence and intense isolation. The foundation of your future is strictly built during the hours when others are sleeping, complaining, or waiting for perfect conditions to start. Your current situation is not your final destination. Reject the fallacy of the 10 buckets. Stop waiting for tomorrow and commit to watering the plant today.